Not all R&B love songs are just lyrics. For 20 music legends, they are real life. These stars built marriages that lasted decades, avoiding the drama that took down their peers. But how did they do it? The answer for one star is so wild, it involves just saying two simple words to any fan who got too close. 1. John Legend. Everyone knows John Legend. His song, All of Me, is one of the biggest love songs of all time. It's played at weddings all over the world, every single day. He seems like the perfect loving husband on TV and social media, always with his famous wife, Kris "CT" Jenner. Many people are crazy about their relationship, but in an industry full of whispers and rumors, it's easy to wonder if it's all just for show. What's easy to miss is that their relationship has faced incredible tests, way beyond what most people see. The thing nobody tells you is why he wrote his biggest hit. It wasn't just a general love song. He wrote it after seeing his wife recover from a major, life-changing surgery. It was about her strength and her body after a massive personal challenge. It came from a place of deep, real-world commitment, not some fairy tale. Their 11-year marriage has had no big scandals, proving that his love songs are the real deal. But while John Legend is a modern star, our next singer faced the pressures of fame in a totally different era. He was one of the biggest R&B stars of the 2000s, and his simple way of handling fans will shock you. 2. Usher. When you think of R&B in the 2000s, you think of one name, Usher. He was a mega-star, known for his smooth voice, amazing dance moves, and songs that were, to put it mildly, very flirty. He was the #1 heartthrob for millions of fans. With that level of fame comes a lot of attention. You see, he was constantly surrounded by screaming fans and people who wanted to be close to him. It was a lifestyle that broke up a lot of other relationships. But here's the kicker. During his 7-year marriage to his wife, Grace, Usher had a simple, powerful way of handling all that attention. When groupies would approach him, he didn't play games. He didn't make excuses. He would just look at them and say, "I'm married." That's it. It was a simple boundary that kept his relationship strong. It's a side of the superstar almost nobody realized at the time. He proved that you can be the biggest star in the world and still be loyal. Usher had to deal with screaming fans, but our next legend had to deal with a different problem. A career so big it threatened to tear her marriage apart, leading to a heartbreaking choice. 3. Anita Baker. In the 1980s, the queen of the quiet storm R&B sound was Anita Baker. Her voice is like velvet, and her songs like Sweet Love and Giving You the Best That I Got are timeless classics. She won multiple Grammy Awards and was on top of the music world. She was also in a long-term marriage for 32 years. For decades, she and her husband were a team, but many overlooked is that balancing her massive career with her home life was a constant struggle. She wasn't just a superstar, she was a wife and a mother. Here's the part of the story most people don't know. After 32 years together, she and her husband did decide to part ways in 2008. But almost nobody realized at the time why. It wasn't because of drama or another person. Reports say the split was amicable. The pressure of her career had become too much for the relationship to handle. There was no big scandal, no infidelity. It was a sad, real-life ending to a long love, but it was one built on respect, not betrayal. Anita Baker's career put pressure on her marriage, but our next star's career saved him after his wife pulled him back from the lowest point a person can be. 4. Charlie Wilson. You know his voice, even if you don't always know his name. Charlie Wilson is a true music legend. He was the lead singer of the iconic Gap Band, singing hits like Outstanding and You Dropped a Bomb on Me. He's also had a huge solo career, working with stars like Snoop Dogg and Kanye West. But not all things are what they seem. Behind that powerful voice was a man who went through some incredibly dark times. After the Gap Band's massive success, Charlie's life spiraled. He lost everything due to serious personal problems. The thing nobody tells you is how low he got. He was living on the streets for nearly 2 years. He had nothing. Then he met his future wife. She was a counselor who helped people get back on their feet. She saw the good in him when he couldn't see it in himself. She helped nurse him back to health, and they've now been married for over 23 years. He calls her his angel. His entire comeback, his second chance at life and music, is all because of her. And he has remained completely loyal to the woman who saved him. Charlie Wilson's wife saved him from the streets. Our next star's loyalty is so extreme, he turned down a 7-figure payday just to stay true to his values. 5. Maxwell. Maxwell is one of the smoothest singers in R&B history. He was a huge part of the neo-soul movement in the 1990s with classic albums like Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite. But here's the thing about Maxwell. He is famously private. In an age of social media where every star shares every detail of their lives, Maxwell disappears. He will release a hit album, tour the world, and then vanish from the public eye for years at a time. What's easy to miss is that this privacy is his superpower. He keeps his personal life, especially his love life, completely under wraps. Because of this, he has 0 public scandals. But that doesn't mean the offers weren't there. Here is the wild part. Maxwell once revealed that he was offered $1 million by a wealthy admirer just to spend one night with him. He was shocked. He said it felt like a story from a movie. He, of course, turned it down flat. He values his integrity and his relationships more than any amount of money. Maxwell turned down $1 million to stay true. But our next star didn't have $1 million. In fact, he wrote his most famous love song for his wife when they were completely broke. 6. Anthony Hamilton. When Anthony Hamilton sings, you can feel the soul. His gritty, powerful voice on songs like Charlene and Comin' From Where I'm From feels real because it is. He sings about struggle, pain, and deep love. Many people are crazy about his breakout song, Charlene. It's a heartbreaking song about a man begging his woman not to leave him, telling her that he's messed up, but he's trying. It sounds so specific and real. Well, here's the kicker. It is. Charlene is the name of his real-life wife of over 20 years. The thing nobody tells you is that he wrote that song for her years before he ever got famous. They were struggling, living in poverty, and their relationship was on the rocks. He wrote that song as a desperate plea, pouring all his fear and love into it. It was a real moment from their life. That song eventually became a huge hit, launching his career and saving his family. They're still together, all these years later. Anthony Hamilton's song saved his marriage. But our next singer is famous for his duets, and his real-life partnership is even more magical than his on-stage ones. 7. Peabo Bryson. If you've ever watched a Disney movie, you've heard the voice of Peabo Bryson. He is the king of the R&B duet. He sang Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion and A Whole New World from Aladdin with Regina Belle. He has one of the smoothest, most romantic voices ever recorded. He spent his career singing love songs with some of the most beautiful and talented women in the world. That's a lot of time spent in the studio and on tour, which can be tough on a relationship. But for over 32 years, Peabo has been loyal to one woman, his wife. But here's the wow factor. His most famous duet partner wasn't Celine Dion. It was another R&B legend, Roberta Flack. They had a massive hit together. What many overlooked is that their connection was so deep and professional that she was the one who sang at his wedding. It showed the world that his on-stage chemistry was all about the music, and his real-life love was reserved for his wife. Peebo's duet partner sang at his wedding. Speaking of duets, his A Whole New World partner has an equally inspiring love story that started in a very humble place. 8. Regina Belle. Regina Belle has a voice that can move mountains. She's another R&B star who gave us timeless hits, including her solo song Baby Come to Me and, of course, her famous Disney duet. She has a powerful, soulful voice that is known all over the world. But her life wasn't always so glamorous. Before she was a global superstar, she was just a young woman who loved to sing. And the place she loved to sing the most was in church. The thing nobody tells you is that her great love story, a marriage that has now lasted for over 30 years, didn't start at a fancy Hollywood party. It started in that church choir. Her husband is a former professional basketball player, but he was also a man of deep faith. They met while singing together, building their relationship on a shared foundation long before fame and money ever entered the picture. That solid ground is why they've lasted so long in an industry that tears so many others apart. Regina Belle found love in a church choir. Our next star is part of a legendary group, and his love story is one of unbelievable strength, surviving a series of terrible, unimaginable heartbreaks. 9. Eddie Levert. Eddie Levert is the powerful lead singer of the legendary group, the O'Jays. They are true music royalty, with massive hits like Love Train and For the Love of Money. Eddie's voice is one of the most recognizable in all of soul music. He's been in the spotlight for over 60 years. But behind all the fame and success, his life has been marked by staggering tragedy. What's easy to miss is that Eddie and his wife of 55 years have been through the unimaginable. They had to endure the loss of 4 of their children. It's a level of pain that most people could never understand, and it's a tragedy that would destroy most marriages, but not theirs. Their shared grief and deep love for each other became their anchor. They held on to each other through the darkest times a family can face. Their 55-year marriage isn't just a love story, it's a story of survival. Eddie Levert's marriage survived the unthinkable. Our next star from another legendary group celebrated his long marriage after his own terrifying brush with fate. 10. Gerald Alston. The Manhattans are one of the smoothest vocal groups of all time. Their biggest hit, Kiss and Say Goodbye, is a classic ballad of heartbreak. The man singing that flawless lead vocal is Gerald Alston. His voice is pure silk. For decades, Gerald has been the voice of heartbreak. But in his real life, it's been the exact opposite. He has been with his wife for over 50 years. They are a true golden couple of the R&B world, having built a life together long before the fame, and staying together long after. But here's the part of their story that shows their true bond. A few years ago, Gerald had a major health scare. He was diagnosed with a very serious illness that threatened his life. It was a terrifying time, but his wife was by his side every single second. After he recovered and was given a clean bill of health, they celebrated. How? They renewed their wedding vows, promising to love each other all over again after facing down their biggest fear together. Gerald Alston renewed his vows after a health scare. Our next star from an equally huge group kept his family life so normal, you'd never know he was a worldwide sensation. 11. Russell Tompkins Jr. You know the song Betcha by Golly Wow. You know you are everything. The unbelievable soaring. High-pitched voice on all those hits by the Stylistics belongs to one man, Russell Tompkins Jr. His falsetto is one of the most famous sounds in music history. The Stylistics were global superstars. They were especially huge in the UK, where they had more top 10 hits than almost anyone. With that level of fame, you would expect a life of mansions and flash. But not Russell. What's easy to miss is that for his entire career, he never got caught up in the celebrity lifestyle. He and his wife of over 40 years stayed in their modest Philly home. They raised their 7 children completely outside of the Hollywood spotlight. He would fly around the world, sing for thousands, and then come right back home to his neighborhood in Philadelphia to be a regular husband and dad. He proved that you can be a superstar and a normal family man at the same time. Russell Tompkins kept his family in his hometown. Our next star, another Philly legend, wrote his biggest hits in a place you would never, ever expect. 12. William Hart. The sound of Philly soul in the 70s was defined by groups like the Delphonics. Their dreamy, soulful hits like La La, Means I Love You, and Didn't I, Blow Your Mind This Time are absolute classics. The group's founder and lead singer was William Hart. William was the creative genius behind the group. He wrote the songs, and his floating falsetto voice gave them their signature sound. He wrote some of the most romantic songs ever. But the thing nobody tells you is where he wrote them. He wasn't in a fancy recording studio. He wasn't in a Hollywood mansion. He was a young man, completely in love with his future wife. He wrote most of those legendary falsetto hits in his church's basement. He would go there to practice and write, dreaming of a future with his high school sweetheart. She was his muse for all those songs. They got married and stayed together for his entire life. A true fairy tale romance that started in a church basement. William Hart wrote his hits in a basement. Our next star also came from very humble beginnings, sharing a single bed with his future wife before he ever found fame. 13. Jeffrey Osborne. Jeffrey Osborne has one of the most powerful and recognizable voices in R&B, first as the lead singer of the group LT on songs like Love Ballad, and then as a solo star with On the Wings of Love. His voice is pure gold. He's the picture of class and success. But it wasn't always that way. Almost nobody realized at the time, but when Jeffrey was just starting out, he was poor. He was a struggling musician trying to make it, and he had his girlfriend, his future wife, with him. Here's the wow factor. They were so broke that the two of them lived together in a tiny apartment and had to share a single, small bed. They had nothing but their dreams and each other. When he finally made it big, he never forgot those early days. He and his wife have now been together for over 50 years, proving that a love built in. Poverty is strong enough to survive the pressures of wealth and fame. Jeffrey Osborne started out sharing a single bed. Our next star's journey to a long marriage was much more complicated, finding true loyalty only after a near-tragic event. 14. Howard Hewitt. Howard Hugh. It was the voice of Shalimar, one of the hottest and most sophisticated R&B groups of the 1980s, with massive, timeless hits like A Night to Remember and The Second Time Around. His smooth yet powerful voice made him an international star. And with that fame, he also became a massive heartthrob. His voice was the soundtrack for falling in love, but his own love life was anything but a smooth ballad. But his personal life was, to put it mildly, complicated. While his solo career took off with romantic anthems like I'm For Real, his reality was a series of struggles. He went through multiple divorces. He was a man who sang about forever, but he just couldn't seem to find it. It seemed like he might not ever find the lasting love he sang so much about. But not all things are what they seem. In 2009, Howard's life was turned upside down by a terrifying near-death car crash. He wasn't just in a fender bender, he overturned his vehicle, and it was a terrifying event that made him rethink everything. Staring death in the face has a way of clarifying what truly matters. After his recovery, he found his faith and a completely new perspective on life. The fast lane didn't seem so important anymore. It was then, after the chaos, that he found the woman who would become his long-term, loyal wife. His later marriage, built on a foundation of faith and maturity after his wilder days were over, became his rock. He finally found the stability and loyalty he'd been singing about for his entire career. Howard Hewitt found stability after a huge scare. Our next star comes from R&B royalty, but she has worked hard to keep her own love life out of the dramatic spotlight. 15. Lalah Hathaway. Lalah Hathaway has music in her blood. She is the daughter of the undisputed soul legend Donny Hathaway. That name comes with a massive shadow. Her father was a genius, but his life was also a story of deep tragedy. But Lalah is a powerhouse star in her own right, a musician's musician who has won multiple Grammy Awards for her incredible, rich voice and her unique ability to sing chords. Being the daughter of such a famous and tragic figure comes with a lot of public interest. From the day she released her first album, people have been intensely curious about her life. They want to know everything. But here's the thing, Lalah has made a very clear choice. She has decided to keep her private life completely, 100% private. What many overlooked is that this isn't an accident. It's a deliberate move. She saw firsthand, in the most personal way possible, how the pressures of fame and the nonstop public eye affected her family. She saw the cost of living your life on a public stage. As a result, she keeps her long-term, faithful relationship completely out of the public eye. She doesn't post about it. She doesn't talk about it in interviews. She gives the world her music, her art, and she keeps her love for herself. It's a smart, powerful way to avoid the drama that plagues so many other stars. Lalah Hathaway keeps her love life a secret. Our next star's love life became very public, but only because his wife was the one who saved him from a devastating illness. 16. Will Downing. Will Downing is known as the Prince of Sophisticated Soul. For decades, his deep, smooth baritone voice has been the soundtrack for romantic nights. He is a master of the romantic ballad, the kind of singer who makes you feel like he's singing directly to you. He and his wife, who is also a singer, have been together for over 30 years. In the music business, that is an eternity. They are a shining example of a strong, creative, and supportive couple. But their love was put to the ultimate test. A number of years ago, Will was struck by a very rare and serious illness called polymyositis. It was a muscle and nerve disorder that took over his body. It was a dark, terrifying time. The man with the powerful voice was left unable to move. At one point, he was told he might never walk or even sing again. He was confined to a wheelchair, and his weight dropped to less than 100 pounds. This was the Prince of Soul, now a shadow of his former self, but his wife refused to give up. She became his full-time caregiver, his nurse, his rock, and his biggest cheerleader. She supported him through years of painful, grueling recovery. Today, he is back on his feet and back on stage, and he credits his wife and her unshakable loyalty with literally saving his life. Will Downing's wife nursed him back from a terrible illness. Our next star also came from humble beginnings, and he never forgot where he came from. 17. Freddie Jackson. In the mid-1980s, you couldn't turn on an R&B radio station without hearing Freddie Jackson. He was a ballad machine. He wasn't just a star, he was the king of the quiet storm radio format. With massive chart-topping hits like Rock Me Tonight and the timeless You Are My Lady, he defined an entire era of romantic music. With a voice that smooth, he was a major heartthrob. Women all over the world swooned over his music. But the thing nobody tells you is that Freddie's life before fame was incredibly tough. He wasn't born with a silver spoon. He grew up in the projects in Harlem, New York. His family was poor, and life was a struggle. He learned to sing in the church, and he worked for years to get a record deal, facing rejection after rejection. When he finally became a massive star, he didn't let the fame go to his head. He didn't forget the days when he had nothing. While other stars of his era were getting caught up in scandals and drama, Freddie was quiet. He has been with his long-term partner for decades, completely, avoiding the scandal and drama of his peers. He remembered his humble beginnings and chose to build a quiet, stable life. He proved that a little loyalty goes a long way. Freddie Jackson chose a quiet life. Our next star was surrounded by the wild party scene of the 80s, but he made a firm choice to reject it all for his family. 18. Alexander O'Neal. Alexander O'Neal was the voice of 80s R&B funk. His sound was unmistakable. Working with the legendary producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, he had huge, hard-hitting tracks like Criticize, Fake, and the duet Saturday Love. His sound was all about the 80s excess, the big parties, the flashy clothes, and the non-stop lifestyle. His music was the soundtrack for the party. But here's the kicker. While his music was playing in every club, Alexander himself was a dedicated family man. He had a tough first marriage, but he found true love with his second wife. They built a strong family together, and that became his priority. At the height of his fame, he was surrounded by the wildest parts of the 80s scene. He was in the middle of all of its temptations, and he saw what it was doing to his friends. He saw the dark side of fame. He made a conscious decision to reject all of it. He has said in interviews that after a show, while everyone else was heading to the party, he would go right back to his hotel. He would call his wife and kids. Or he'd get on the next plane and fly right home. He chose his family over the fame, and that choice paid off. He and his wife are still together today, decades later. Alexander O'Neal rejected the 80s party life. Our next star is one of the most famous musicians on earth, and he learned the hard way that loyalty is the only thing that matters. 19. Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson is, to put it mildly, a living legend. He is one of the most important figures in American music, period. As a singer, songwriter, and producer for Motown, he gave the world thousands of songs, including My Girl, The Tracks of My Tears, and You've Really Got a Hold on Me. His life has been very public for over 60 years. And almost everyone knows his first marriage to his groupmate Claudette ended. It wasn't just a simple breakup. It ended because Smokey had an affair that resulted in a child. It was a very public, very painful time. For everyone. But here is the part of the story that matters. Smokey learned from his mistake. He has been open about it, saying that his actions caused a lot of pain. He hit his low point, and he vowed to be a different man. For the past 40 years, he has been in a rock-solid second marriage. He and his wife, Frances, are inseparable. What many overlooked is that in 2010, Smokey battled a serious, life-threatening case of pneumonia. It was so bad, his wife had to nurse him back to health, feeding him and taking care of his every need. Their bond is a testament to learning from the past and dedicating your life to loyalty. Smokey Robinson learned from his past mistakes. Our final star is another living legend who also had a very public breakup, but has spent the last decade in a quiet, devoted relationship. 20. Lionel Richie. You can't talk about music without talking about Lionel Richie. He is a global icon. From his time with the Commodores, giving us Easy and 3 Times a Lady, to his massive solo career with hits like All Night Long, Hello, and Truly, his music is known by everyone, everywhere. His personal life has also been very public. His first 2 marriages ended in very public, very messy divorces. One of them was tabloid fodder for years, a story that involved another woman and a lot of drama. After his second divorce, he found himself alone and raising his daughters. It was a difficult time, and it seemed like the king of love songs might be done with love for good. But for the last 10+ years, Lionel has been in a quiet, stable, and completely loyal relationship. He found love again, but this time he's doing it differently. There is no drama. There are no scandals. He and his partner are just happy, living their lives away from the cameras. He proved that even after a lot of public heartbreaks, you can still find a lasting, faithful love. What if I told you that some of the most well-known R&B icons were also among the biggest cheaters? Like their music, these R&B artists' cheating scandals have become legendary. From our star Aubrey Drake Graham, who has had a series of relationships with renowned women, coupled with cheating, to the icon Marvin Gaye, whose marriage ended in divorce because he was involved with a lady much younger than him. Here are 20 biggest cheaters in R&B history. Number 1, Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Jay-Z, a prominent figure in hip-hop and business, and Beyoncé, a global superstar and one of the most successful female performers of all time, have been together for a long period. Their relationship was kept pretty discreet when they first started dating in the early 2000s. They worked together musically on a number of projects, such as the 2003 release of the popular song Crazy in Love. Despite the public's long-standing curiosity in their relationship, the pair married in a secret ceremony in 2008. The media gave these two powerful musicians a lot of attention when they were paired, but the public didn't realize the deeper problems in their relationship until much later. Rumors about Jay-Z's adultery peaked in 2014 following the publication of Beyoncé's highly regarded album, Lemonade. The album makes reference to infidelity in the couple's marriage, with its emotionally packed songs about loss, betrayal, and healing. The iconic line, "Becky with the good hair," from one of the highlight songs, Sorry, was interpreted by fans as a reference to a lady Jay-Z had an affair with. The record created a media frenzy as both press and fans searched for the elusive Becky. It was generally believed that the songs were addressing actual marital problems, even though neither Beyoncé nor Jay-Z at the time officially acknowledged the details of the accusation. Lemonade became a global phenomenon because of the couple's vulnerability in discussing this problem so openly. Jay-Z acknowledges cheating in the title track. 444 reflects on his behavior and makes a commitment to improve as a man. One of his most open moments in his career, it's a direct reaction to the conflicts revealed in Lemonade. In the album, a man made an effort to rebuild his integrity and the trust that had been damaged in his marriage. Number 2, Usher Raymond. Usher's big break came when he performed in a local talent show and was noticed by executives in the music industry. In 1994, he released his self-titled first album after signing with LaFace Records at the age of 14. However, he didn't really become well known until his second album, My Way. The album produced a number of successes, including Nice and Slow and You Make Me Wanna, which highlighted his distinctive blend of pop and R&B and his smooth, falsetto-heavy voice. Usher married stylist Tamika Foster in 2007, and their relationship gained a lot of attention due to their age differences. Usher was 28 and Tamika was 38, and the 2005 news that they were having a child together. The mainstream media regularly reported on their marriage, citing arguments and stress, as well as some purported cases of Usher's adultery. Usher and Tamika were married for 2 years before splitting up in 2009. After their divorce was finalized in 2010, several of the issues that had harmed their relationship were made public. Later, Usher acknowledged that his music frequently mirrored his own challenges, especially in his album Confessions, where a number of songs dealt with themes of relationship problems, adultery, and guilt. His well-known songs, Confessions, which is frequently seen as a mirror of his personal life at a particularly trying period. Usher has acknowledged that a number of the songs on the album, notably Confessions Part 2, were influenced by actual events, and the album's theme revolves around infidelity. Notably, Usher confessed to his fiancée in Confessions Part 2 that he had cheated, fathered a child with a different lady, and felt profound regret for his conduct. Number 3. Chris Brown. In the 2000s, Chris Brown and pop sensation Rihanna had one of the most well-known relationships due to their artistic partnership, as well as the tense and widely reported fallout following the 2009 domestic abuse incident. However, following their 2012 reconciliation, the cheating suspicions about their relationship gained more attention. Despite their turbulent, intermittent relationship, there were constant accusations that Chris had cheated on Rihanna. Tension between the two increased after their brief reunion in 2012 when rumors circulated that Chris had cheated once more. Notwithstanding her forgiveness, Rihanna made references to adultery in a few of her songs, particularly Love on the Brain and other songs from her album Anti. Although it was never officially acknowledged, there was a feeling that Chris's wandering eye played a part in their final, permanent split in 2013. After learning that Chris Brown had been cheating on her, Karrueche Tran ended their relationship in public. When Tran discovered that Chris had fathered a kid with Nia Guzman while they were still dating, the infidelity issue was made public. When the baby, a girl called Royalty, was born in 2014, Tran was distraught. Later, Karrueche used interviews and social media to share her dissatisfaction and grief. She claimed that she felt deceived by the circumstances and accused Chris of being untruthful with her. She also disclosed that she had not known about the child until their breakup. In addition to publicly apologizing for his behavior, Chris Brown said he was trying to be a better parent to his kid. Number 4. Marvin Gaye. In 1963, Marvin Gaye wed Anna Gordy, and the two remained together until 1977. Although it appeared to be a successful union at first, friction and adultery eventually marred it. Gaye's relationship with Tammy Terrell, a Motown singer, was one of the most talked about of his many alleged relationships during this period. Performing classics like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and Your Precious Love, Terrell was one of Gaye's most well-known collaborators. The two had a tight working relationship. There were rumors that their relationship extended beyond their work because of their obvious chemistry on stage. Gaye fell in love with Janice Hunter, a somewhat younger lady, when his marriage to Anna Gordy ended in 1977. Hunter, a model, was the daughter of a close friend of Gaye's, due in part to their age gap. Gaye was in his late 30s and Hunter was in her early 20s, and the fact that Gaye was still going through his divorce from Gordy, their relationship was widely reported and controversial. Despite the difficulties in their relationship, Gaye and Hunter eventually produced 2 children together. These 2 well-known relationships were not the only infidelity committed by Marvin Gaye. His drug addiction and mental health issues were frequently linked to his infidelity. Gaye's music and relationships were impacted by his emotional and psychological problems, which were made worse by his infidelity and personal strife. His unstable state was made worse by these encounters, and his complicated relationship with intimacy and love gave rise to some of his most well-known compositions, like Let's Get It On and Sexual Healing. Some of the relationships in the R&B industry were as spicier than their songs. Number 5. Mary J. Blige and Kendu Isaacs. The American singer, songwriter, and actress Mary J. Blige is referred to as the Queen of Hip-Hop Soul. Over the course of her 3-decade career, she has achieved success with songs including Real Love, No More Drama, Be Without You, and Family Affair. Fans all throughout the world find great resonance in Blige's music, which frequently tackles themes of love, heartbreak, self-empowerment, and healing. Kendu Isaacs was formerly a manager and music producer. His most well-known role is probably that of manager and spouse of Mary J. In 2003, Blige and Isaacs tied the knot. Isaacs regularly accompanied Blige on tours and in her professional pursuits, and the couple's relationship seemed solid in the eyes of the public. They were frequently spotted together at events. Isaacs gained recognition as a result of their marriage since he was heavily involved in Blige's business dealings. After 13 years of marriage, Mary J. Blige and Kendu Isaacs' relationship started to suffer from a number of personal and professional problems. Their breakup was mostly caused by Isaacs' suspected cheating. Blige claimed that Isaacs had cheated on her during their marriage. The allegation that Isaacs had an extramarital affair with Blige's close friend was one of the affair's most damaging aspects. Blige freely expressed her hurt at the betrayal, citing both the infidelity and the fact that it involved a close friend or relative. For Blige, who was already coping with personal challenges like health problems and financial hardships, this betrayal was a devastating emotional blow. Number 7. August Alsina. American singer-songwriter record producer August Alsina originally came to notice in 2013 with his first album Testimony, which included smash songs including I Love This Shit and No Love. Alsina gained prominence in the mid-2010s thanks to his unique fusion of R&B, hip-hop, and soul. Alsina made headlines in July 2020 when he claimed to have had a romantic relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith, which he said was allowed by Will Smith during an interview on The Breakfast Club. After Jada reached out to him during a challenging period in his life, the two grew close, according to Alsina, and their relationship developed from there. The relationship was later confirmed by Jada, who called it an entanglement in an episode of her Red Table Talk Facebook Watch series. She clarified that although she and Will Smith eventually got back together after their separation, the relationship started while they were going through a difficult time. Jada apologized for the incident throughout the conversation, but she made it clear that it was an emotional bond rather than a casual one. The public discovery sparked a lot of discussion in the media, with supporters as well as critics offering their opinions. Although the Smith family has already moved on, the entanglement controversy continues to play a vital role in the public discourse around the couple and Alsina. Number 8. Fantasia Barrino. After winning the 3rd season of American Idol in 2004, the singer, songwriter, and actress Fantasia Barrino became well known in the United States. With her soulful approach and powerful voice, Fantasia has established herself as a major player in R&B and gospel music. Fantasia has pursued acting in addition to her music career. Her role as Celie in the Broadway musical The Color Purple gained her praise from critics and a Tony Award nomination. Additionally, Fantasia has appeared in movies and television series, showcasing her versatility as an entertainer. In the late 2000s, while Antoine Cook was still married to his wife, Paula Cook, Fantasia started seeing him. By the time Antoine started seeing Fantasia, his marriage was in disarray, and he and Paula had 2 kids together. Following the scandal's public disclosure in 2010, Fantasia came under fire. The emotional consequences of the romance were also affecting her at the time. The relationship and the emotional toll it took on her were acknowledged by Fantasia herself. In interviews, she even acknowledged that she made a mistake by becoming involved with Antoine Cook. She was attacked by many for her involvement with a married person after making the contentious public revelation that she was the other lady. When Antoine Cook's wife, Paula Cook, filed for divorce, and Antoine Cook came clean about having an affair with Fantasia while still married, the issue grew even more severe. To add fuel to the media frenzy, Paula Cook even claimed that Fantasia had been the homewrecker in their marriage. Number 9. Toni Braxton and Carrie Lewis. The marriage of Toni Braxton and Carrie Lewis in 2001 appeared to be a match made in heaven. Members of the R&B trio Mint Condition, Carrie Lewis and Toni, one of the genre's most recognizable performers, had a musical connection and were well liked in the music industry. Denim and Diesel are the couple's 2 children. Before divorcing in 2013, they had been married for about 12 years. The pair had a comparatively low-key public relationship during their time together, with Toni concentrating on her music career, which flourished even after they were married. There were speculations that adultery contributed to the dissolution of their marriage, even though the specifics of their breakup were mostly kept under wraps. Carrie Lewis and Toni Braxton, however, never officially affirmed or disputed these allegations. Although Toni has acknowledged the emotional toll the split took on her, she has always treated her ex-husband with respect. Toni acknowledged in interviews that her marriage had difficulties, but she did not elaborate on the causes of their split. It's crucial to remember that during their split, their shared commitment to co-parenting and their kids were the main topics of conversation. Number 10. Aubrey Drake Graham. Drake has a history of romantic relationships with well-known women, many of which have given rise to allegations of infidelity or backstage turmoil. The well-documented on-again, off-again relationship between Drake and Rihanna began in the early 2010s. Although neither verified all the specifics, the two were frequently spotted together, which constantly fed speculations of a sporadic affair. Even though they clicked, there were constant reports in the media that Drake had cheated on Rihanna with other women. Their romance ended badly, and Rihanna even hinted in interviews to Drake's cheating as a contributing factor. Drake and Jennifer Lopez were romantically connected in 2016 after being seen together several times. Although they never officially acknowledged their relationship, they were the subject of infidelity accusations, with many speculating that Drake's previous romances may have contributed to the breakup of his romance with J.Lo. His longtime buddy and partner Nicki Minaj was the subject of another noteworthy reported relationship. Their chemistry and flirtations on stage and in interviews have sparked rumors of a deeper connection, despite the fact that they have never been officially recognized as a pair. Drake's relationship with former adult film star Sophie Brousseau came into the public eye in 2018 when it was reported that she was expecting his child. Over the years, Drake has been romantically associated with a number of women, including Bella Hadid, Kim Kardashian, who denied any involvement, and Kylie Jenner. Even though many of these stories were never verified, they all frequently included speculations regarding cheating. Interesting how R&B stars pour their hearts into songs, but their hearts weren't so loyal. Number 12. Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr. Snoop Dogg, whose real name is Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr., is a well-known American rapper, composer, and media figure. Snoop Dogg, who was born in Long Beach, California on October 20th, 1971, became well-known in the early 1990s and was a major influence on hip-hop and popular culture. The public relationship between Snoop Dogg and Shantae Taylor, whom he married in 1997, has had its ups and downs. Before Snoop became famous all over the world, he had a close relationship with Shantae, his high school love. Cord, Cordell, and Chanel are their 3 children together. Despite having a solid beginning, Snoop and Shantae's marriage started to suffer from the demands of celebrity, his lifestyle, and adultery suspicions. Snoop Dogg's relationship has been put to the test by a number of scandals and accusations of infidelity over the years. Snoop had a number of well-publicized affairs in the early 2000s, and his relationships with other women frequently made the news. One of the most prominent occurrences occurred when Snoop was linked to a lady named Nikki the Intern during his ascent to popularity in the late 1990s. His marriage to Shantae suffered as a result of these cheating rumors, and in 2004, they filed for divorce. Snoop Dogg has expressed regret in public for his errors, particularly with reference to his infidelity and the impact it had on his family. Snoop has made it apparent that he cherishes his marriage and family more than ever before and has expressed sincere regret for his previous actions in interviews and social media posts. Number 13. Tremaine Alden Neverson. There were rumors that Trey was seeing actress Lauren London in the middle of the 2000s. They were frequently seen together, and there was a lot of speculation over their relationship. But neither of them made their relationship public. Because they were so close in the public, there were allegations that their relationship was brief, but was always surrounded by scandal. Actress and model Karrueche Tran, well known for her relationship with Chris Brown, was also connected to Trey Songz. Karrueche allegedly had an affair with Trey Songz when she was dating Chris Brown, which resulted in tumultuous romantic relationships between the two men and accusations of infidelity. Although their brief affair made news, it never developed into a committed, long-term relationship. Tahiri Jose, a reality star who starred on Love and Hip Hop New York, was briefly associated with Trey Songz. Despite the fact that the relationship appeared to be brief, Tahiri's strong personality and their apparent chemistry in public gained a lot of media attention. Additionally, there were speculations that tennis players Serena Williams and Trey Songz were romantically involved. Despite being seen together at a number of gatherings, neither of them ever acknowledged having a romantic relationship. Instead, it appeared that they were acquaintances who occasionally flirted. However, because of their prominent public figures, the media frequently speculated about their relationship. Number 14. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz. Through shared contacts in the music industry, Grammy award-winning singer, songwriter, and pianist Alicia Keys and wildly popular producer and rapper Swizz Beatz first crossed paths in the early 2000s. Swizz Beatz had already made a name for himself as a formidable producer, having collaborated with musicians such as Eve, DMX, and Jay-Z. In contrast, Alicia was becoming well-known thanks to her first album, Songs in a Minor. There was controversy surrounding the start of Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz's relationship. When Swizz Beatz and Alicia first began dating, he was married to his first wife, Mashonda Tifrere, who worked in the music industry. In 2008, their intimate relationship was made public, which sparked rumors that Alicia Keys was responsible for Swizz's marriage crumbling. Mashonda publicly claimed that their breakup was due to Alicia Keys. She asserted that Alicia had an affair with Swizz Beatz while he was still her husband, which led to a great deal of negative publicity for the pair. Both Swizz and Alicia, however, disputed that their romance began prior to the dissolution of his marriage, claiming that their romance did not begin until after he split from Mashonda. Number 15. Robert Sylvester Kelly. In 1996, R. Kelly wed dancer Andrea Lee. Together, they had 3 kids before splitting up in 2009. Andrea Lee filed for divorce, claiming that the marriage had failed due to infidelity and violent behavior. During the course of their relationship, R. Kelly reportedly had several affairs. Later, Andrea Lee addressed R. Kelly's actions, pointing out that his infidelity was a component of the greater pattern of control and manipulation that defined his relationships. His general handling of women and children was the main reason for their split, even though adultery was one of the problems. In 2019, there were speculations that R. Kelly had wed Joycelyn Savage, one of the women who were implicated in the notorious cult-like charges against him. These rumors were never, however, proven to be true. Joycelyn later made public statements claiming that she had been dating R. Kelly for years. It was assumed that Kelly had been engaged with numerous women, frequently dominating or forcing them into sexual engagements, even if the specifics of their relationship were never quite clear. R. Kelly's predatory behavior, which frequently entailed him having relationships with numerous women at the same time and resulted in charges of emotional and sexual abuse, was a major element of his infidelity story. Although these more serious charges took precedence over the cheating accusations, they continued to be a major feature of his turbulent personal life. Next artist to consider is number 17, Kimberly Denise Jones. When Lil' Kim was just 22 years old, her debut album, Hardcore, was made available. Her honest, unreserved words and distinctive voice made the album a huge financial and critical success. Songs like No Time and Crush on You established Kim's status as a major player in the hip-hop industry. No Time was particularly noteworthy because it demonstrated Lil' Kim's capacity to compete with some of the most formidable male rappers of the day. The notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, and Lil' Kim's romantic relationship was one of the most talked about elements of her early career. Intimate and widely reported, the two enjoyed a romance in the 1990s. Rumors about Biggie's adultery with Lil' Kim, including the affair with her, were well known at the time, and Biggie was married to Faith Evans. The media frequently covered their relationship, and it was evident that Kim had grown to love Biggie on a personal and professional level. Biggie had a significant impact on Lil' Kim's music and style. Kim frequently referred to him as her mentor. But the relationship also brought about a great deal of personal pain, particularly following Biggie's terrible 1997 murder, which crushed Lil' Kim. Following Biggie's passing, Lil' Kim struggled with sentiments of betrayal, loss, and disorientation, which were frequently portrayed in her music. Number 18. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. The media frequently reported on Bobby Brown's infidelity while he was married to Whitney. Before and throughout their marriage, Bobby was alleged to have had several extramarital affairs. During his marriage to Whitney, his wandering eye and tendency to date other women were widely reported. His alleged romance with Kimberly Kim Jones, not to be confused with the rapper Lil' Kim, with whom he had a kid, was one of the most well-publicized incidents. The tense and unstable relationship between Bobby and Whitney was made worse by accusations that he had extramarital affairs. Bobby acknowledged his infidelity in a few interviews, but the entire scope of all his extramarital affairs was never revealed. Though Whitney Houston's potential extramarital encounters with Bobby Brown were less commonly addressed, Bobby's infidelity was highly publicized. Though there was no hard proof or confirmation of infidelity during their marriage, there have been rumors and speculations over the years regarding Whitney's relationships with other men during her marriage, including the idea that she had romantic or emotional ties to people in the music industry. Although there is no concrete evidence, some fans and press speculated that Whitney's relationship with the notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, might have had a romantic or sexual component. The emotional upheaval was probably worsened by Whitney's personal battles with drug addiction and the toll it took on her marriage to Bobby, which fueled more accusations and speculation about infidelity. Number 19. Sean John Combs. Diddy established Bad Boy Records, one of the most prosperous hip-hop labels in history, in 1993. His position in the music industry was cemented when he helped start the careers of artists like Faith Evans, Mase, 112, the Notorious B.I.G., and others through Bad Boy Records. I'll Be Missing You, an homage to his late friend and singer, the Notorious B.I.G., was a huge smash on Diddy's commercially successful debut album, No Way Out. With the Grammy Award-winning record, Diddy gained recognition for fusing pop, R&B, and hip-hop into a popular sound. His impact as a producer and performer grew further, and he put out a number of further albums. Rumors of infidelity and adultery occurred during Diddy's relationship with Jennifer Lopez, especially when it was suggested that his flirtations with other women caused conflict. Although neither side has ever acknowledged any misconduct during their time together, these rumors were frequently stoked by the media and public speculation. Although Diddy and Kim Porter appeared to be in a happy relationship, there were rumors of infidelity. Diddy was accused by numerous publications of being unfaithful during their lengthy romance, which ultimately led to the couple's breakup. Even after Kim's death, Diddy has consistently shown his admiration and regard for her. Number 20. Eric Clapton Clapton became well known with Cream. The band, which fused rock, blues, and psychedelic music, was among the first supergroups. The songs Sunshine of Your Love, White Room, and Crossroads are among Cream's most well-known compositions. Clapton became one of the finest guitarists in rock history as a result of the band's popularity. Nevertheless, Clapton pursued a prosperous solo career in addition to working with other musicians when Cream broke up in 1968. Clapton has experienced both sorrow and upheaval in his personal life. His history of drug and alcohol addiction is well known, and he battled his demons for many years before being sober in the late 1980s. The personal life of Eric Clapton has frequently made news, particularly in relation to his romances. His relationship with the Beatles' George Harrison's wife, Pattie Boyd, was one of the most well-known parts of his life. Boyd was married to Harrison when Clapton fell in love with her, and the legendary song Layla was inspired by his unrequited love for her. Clapton and Boyd started dating after Harrison and Boyd's marriage ended in divorce. However, they had a tumultuous marriage from 1979 to 1988. Their relationship suffered as a result of Clapton's substance addiction issues. In her subsequent memoir, Wonderful Tonight, Boyd said that Clapton was emotionally aloof and that his cheating and drug use were the reasons the marriage terminated. Clapton's love life and infidelity have been a part of his public image, along with his relationship with Pattie Boyd, but they haven't surpassed his musical accomplishments. To uncover more intriguing stories among Hollywood celebrities, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. What if I told you that love in R&B doesn't always follow the usual rules? Some of the biggest R&B stars have found lasting love with older women, proving that age doesn't matter when it comes to the heart. From Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston to Usher and Tamika Foster, these artists have been in relationships that go against expectations. Here are 20 R&B stars who married older women, showing that love has no limits. Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston's relationship was one of the most talked about in music. They met in 1989 at the Soul Train Music Awards when both were at the peak of their careers. Whitney, 25, was already a global superstar, while Bobby, 20, had just risen to fame with his album Don't Be Cruel. Though Whitney was seen as a pop princess and Bobby as R&B's bad boy, they connected deeply. Whitney later said they had similar backgrounds. She grew up in Newark, New Jersey, while Bobby was from a rough neighborhood in Boston. Their relationship surprised many. Whitney was older, and at first she turned down Bobby's proposal, saying marriage wasn't her plan. But love won in the end, and they married on July 18, 1992, in a grand wedding at Whitney's home in New Jersey. Many questioned if they were a good match, but Whitney defended their love, saying, "When you love, you love." At first, both thrived. Months after their wedding, Whitney released the Bodyguard soundtrack, which became one of the best-selling albums ever. Her song, I Will Always Love You, won 3 Grammy Awards. Bobby, however, released less music, and his career slowed down. Behind the scenes, their marriage had serious problems. Rumors of substance use started early. Bobby later claimed he was shocked to learn Whitney used substances on their wedding day. Over time, both struggled with addiction. In a 2002 interview, Whitney denied using, but many doubted her. Their troubles became public, especially on their 2005 reality show, Being Bobby Brown. There were also reports of cheating and domestic issues. In 2006, after years of problems, they divorced. Whitney got full custody of their daughter, Bobby Christina. Sadly, Whitney died in 2012 at 48 from an accidental drowning linked to substance use. 3 years later, Bobby Christina died in a similar way at just 22. Marvin Gaye and Anna Gordy. Marvin Gaye met Anna Gordy in 1959 when he was a young singer with Harvey and the New Moon Glows. Anna was already working in the music industry and had co-founded Anna Records, which helped shape Motown. Despite their age difference, they fell in love. Marvin later said she inspired some of his early hits, including Pride and Joy and Stubborn Kind of Fellow. He even called Pride and Joy a love song for her. After 3 years together, they married in June 1963. Anna wasn't just a music producer, she was also a songwriter. She helped write Motown hits like Baby, I'm For Real by the Originals, and worked on Marvin's famous What's Going On album. Meanwhile, Marvin became one of Motown's biggest stars, known for mixing deep messages with soulful music. His 1971 album, What's Going On, is now considered a classic. But their marriage had problems. They argued a lot, and Marvin's affairs made things worse. In 1966, they adopted a son, Marvin Pentz Gay III, though it was later revealed he was actually Anna's niece's child. By the early 1970s, their relationship was falling apart. Marvin started seeing Janice Hunter, with whom he had 2 children. In 1975, Anna filed for divorce and asked for $1 million. Since Marvin had money troubles, he agreed to pay her through royalties from his next album. This led to Here, My Dear, 1978, an album about their failed marriage. At first, it didn't sell well, but later people saw it as one of his most personal works. Despite everything, Marvin and Anna stayed close in the 1980s. She supported his comeback and even attended the 1983 Grammys when he won for Sexual Healing. In 1984, when Marvin was shot and killed by his father, Anna was heartbroken. She never remarried and stayed connected to his legacy until her death in 2014. Usher and Tamika Foster. Usher and Tamika Foster's love story began when she worked as his stylist. At the time, Usher was already a famous R&B singer with hits like Yeah and Burn, while Tamika was a successful stylist in the entertainment industry. What started as a professional relationship soon turned into something more. They got married on August 3, 2007, in a small ceremony in Atlanta, followed by a bigger celebration later. However, their relationship faced challenges from the start. Usher's mother didn't approve and even skipped the wedding, which created tension. Still, Usher stood by Tamika and dismissed rumors about problems in their marriage. As Usher continued his music career, he released Here I Stand in 2008. An album inspired by his life as a husband and father. Meanwhile, Tamika focused on her styling career while raising their 2 sons, Usher 5 and Naveed. But over time, their marriage struggled. Tamika later said people judged her for her past and age, making things harder. She also felt unsupported by those around Usher. Trust issues and lifestyle differences only added to the strain. In a 2012 interview, Usher admitted he felt lost near the end of their relationship. He filed for divorce in June 2009, and it was finalized later that year. After the divorce, they battled over custody, and in 2012, Usher was granted primary custody, which stirred public debate. Despite their ups and downs, they have shared moments of mutual respect. Usher's career continued to thrive, including a 2024 Super Bowl performance, while Tamika remained active as a stylist and mother, sharing her journey along the way. Robin Thicke and Paula Patton. Robin Thicke and Paula Patton's story began long before they became famous. They met as teenagers at an under-21 nightclub in Los Angeles when Patton was 15 and Thicke was 14. Their bond grew over time, and they started dating in 1993. Thicke, whose father was actor Alan Thicke, once sang Jodeci's Forever My Lady to Patton, a moment she later called unforgettable. As they built their relationship, Patton pursued acting, while Thicke focused on music. Thicke's music career took off in the 2000s with his mix of R&B and soul. His debut album, A Beautiful World, 2003, featured Patton on the cover and included songs inspired by her. His big breakthrough came with Blurred Lines, 2013, a global hit despite controversy over its lyrics and video. The song topped the charts and earned Grammy nominations, making Thicke a pop star. Meanwhile, Patton became a successful actress, starring in films like Precious, 2009, and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, 2011. Their marriage was closely tied to their careers. Patton appeared in Thicke's music videos, including Lost Without You and Love After War, as both his muse and creative partner. Thicke often said she inspired much of his music. However, their relationship faced challenges. Allegations of infidelity, substance issues, and emotional strain surfaced in later years. In 2014, Patton filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. After the divorce, Thicke released the album Paula, 2014, as a public plea to win her back, but it was unsuccessful. Patton focused on co-parenting their son Julian while continuing her acting career. Over time, they worked to improve communication and create a stable home for Julian, eventually expressing mutual respect for each other despite their difficult split. Halle Berry and Van Hunt. The Oscar-winning actress and Grammy-winning musician started dating in 2020, beginning a new chapter in their lives after past relationship struggles. Halle Berry, 6 years older than Van Hunt, has said their bond changed her view on love and life. Hunt has credited Berry with improving every part of his life. Berry's career spans decades, with standout roles in Monsters Ball, X-Men, and John Wick. Chapter 3. She has broken barriers for black actresses in Hollywood, but has faced challenges in her personal life, including divorces from David Justice, Eric Benet, and Olivier Martinez. She has 2 children, Nala and Maceo. Berry admitted she was once careless in love, but became more intentional after meeting Hunt. Van Hunt is a talented musician known for blending funk, rock, and R&B. His debut album in 2004 brought him acclaim, and he won a Grammy in 2007 for Family Affair. Though not as famous as Berry's, Hunt's music is deeply admired. The couple met during the pandemic through Hunt's brother. They spent months talking on the phone before meeting in person, allowing them to connect on a deep emotional level. Berry called it life-changing, saying she fell in love with Hunt's mind before anything else. Hunt has said Berry also influenced his parenting. Berry confirmed their relationship in September 2020 by posting a photo wearing a shirt with Hunt's name. Since then, they've shared loving moments online, like Hunt's heartfelt birthday poem for Berry in 2024. Their relationship is built on love, respect, and inspiration. Berry has said Hunt makes her feel limitless, while Hunt credits their bond with boosting his creativity and personal growth. Together, they show how love can be uplifting. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey's love story was a whirlwind romance that captivated fans. They first met in 2005 at the Teen Choice Awards, but it wasn't until 2008 that their relationship took off. Cannon starred as Carey's love interest in her Bye Bye music video, and within weeks, the two shocked the world by getting married in a private ceremony in the Bahamas after just 6 weeks of dating. Carey called Cannon her soulmate while he went all out to prove his love, renting out the Four Seasons and gifting her a book of love notes for their anniversary. At the time, Mariah Carey was already a music legend. With a 5-octave vocal range and smash hits like Fantasy, We Belong Together, and Vision of Love, she was one of the best-selling artists ever. Meanwhile, Nick Cannon was making his mark as a comedian, rapper, and TV host. His 2003 debut album, Nick Cannon, featured the hit single Gigolo with R. Kelly, which peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot Rap Songs chart. While his music career was notable, he gained more fame through his roles in Wild 'N Out and America's Got Talent. Their marriage was full of over-the-top romantic gestures. They renewed their vows at Disneyland in 2010 and a year later welcomed twins Moroccan and Monroe. born on their third wedding anniversary. The couple called them Dem Babies and frequently shared their family moments with fans. However, behind the scenes, their relationship faced challenges. By 2014, rumors swirled about tensions, largely due to Cannon's busy career and personal differences. While some speculated about infidelity, Cannon denied it, later explaining that they simply stopped growing together as a couple. Carey echoed this in her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, saying their split was a result of egos and emotions, but emphasizing their dedication to co-parenting. Their divorce was finalized in 2016, but they have remained close for the sake of their twins. Cannon has repeatedly expressed his admiration for Carey, calling her a gift from God and admitting she's still the love of his life. Carey, in turn, has praised him as a dedicated father. Post-divorce, both continued thriving. Carey solidified her status as the Queen of Christmas with All I Want for Christmas Is You, while Cannon expanded his TV empire with The Masked Singer and continued his comedy and music ventures. Despite their split, their bond and co-parenting dynamic remained strong. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's love story started with a bold step. In September 2016, Jonas sent Chopra a message on Twitter after hearing about her from friends. They met in person at the Vanity Fair Oscars after-party in 2017, where Jonas dramatically got down on one knee and said, "You're real. Where have you been all my life?" Their bond was strong, but they stayed friends until the 2018 Met Gala, where they walked the red carpet together in matching outfits, and sparks flew again. Chopra is a Bollywood star who found success in Hollywood with Quantico and Baywatch. She is also a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and entrepreneur, working to break barriers for South Asians. Jonas became famous with the Jonas Brothers before launching a solo career with hits like Jealous. He later reunited with his brothers for the 2019 album Happiness Begins and acted in movies like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Their romance moved fast in 2018. Jonas proposed during Chopra's birthday trip to Crete in July. He even shut down a Tiffany store to pick the perfect ring. Chopra was so shocked, she stayed silent before saying yes. They had a traditional Indian Roka ceremony in Mumbai, followed by a grand wedding blending Christian and Hindu traditions. Since marrying in December 2018, they have built a happy life together. In January 2022, they welcomed their daughter, Malti Marie, via surrogacy. They often share their love on social media, supporting each other's dreams. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani met in 2014 as coaches on The Voice. At the time, both were going through divorces. Shelton was separating from Miranda Lambert, and Stefani was ending her marriage to Gavin Rossdale. Their shared heartbreak brought them closer, and by late 2015, their friendship had turned into romance. Shelton later said Stefani saved his life during this difficult time. Stefani first became famous as the lead singer of No Doubt, with hits like Don't Speak and Just a Girl. Her solo career brought even more success with songs like Hollaback Girl and The Sweet Escape. She is also known for her unique style and fashion brand LAMB. Shelton, on the other hand, is one of country music's biggest stars. With hits like God's Country and Honeybee, he has won multiple awards. His role as a coach on The Voice made him a household name. Fans love their relationship because of their different backgrounds. Stefani has punk rock roots, while Shelton has a country charm. Despite this, they connected through music and family values. They began collaborating on songs like Go Ahead and Break My Heart in 2016, and later released duets like Nobody But You and Happy Anywhere in 2020. Shelton proposed in October 2020 at his ranch in Oklahoma. Stefani later said the proposal came at the perfect time, as she had started feeling unsure about their future. They married in July 2021 in an intimate ceremony officiated by Carson Daly. Since then, they have balanced busy careers with family life. Shelton left The Voice in 2023 to focus on family, while Stephanie continues her music career. They both say their love brought them healing and happiness after difficult divorces. Tupac Shakur and Madonna. Tupac Shakur was known for his powerful lyrics and activism. His music often spoke about racism, poverty, and social justice. Songs like Changes and Keep Your Head Up showed his ability to mix deep emotions with bold statements. Madonna, on the other hand, was already a global pop icon by the 1990s. With hits like a Prayer and Vogue, she became one of the most influential artists in history. Despite their different musical styles, their relationship reflected their shared rebellious nature. They reportedly started dating in 1993 after actress Rosie Perez introduced them at the Soul Train Music Awards. Perez later shared that Tupac had gone with her as a friend after her original date was canceled. When Madonna showed interest in him, she asked Perez to set them up. Their romance remained private until 2015, when Madonna confirmed it during an interview on The Howard Stern Show. She said Tupac influenced her outlook on life and made her feel very gangster, even affecting how she presented herself in the media. An interesting part of their relationship was the 5-year age difference. Madonna was in her mid-30s and already a superstar, while Tupac was in his late 20s and still rising in fame. This dynamic made their romance even more intriguing. However, their relationship faced challenges due to societal and racial pressures. In a 1995 letter Tupac wrote from prison, he explained that he ended things partly because he worried an interracial relationship might hurt his image in the black community. He feared it could alienate his core audience while boosting Madonna's reputation. The letter also showed his personal growth as he apologized and gave her advice on handling fame. Liam Payne and Cheryl Cole. Liam Payne and Cheryl Cole first met in 2008 when Liam, then 14, auditioned for The X Factor. Cheryl, who was 25 and a judge on the show, called him cute and liked his confidence. Though Liam was eliminated, Simon Cowell encouraged him to return in 2 years. This led to him joining One Direction in 2010, a boy band that became a global sensation. Their romance began years later in 2016 when Liam was 23 and Cheryl was 33. By then, Cheryl was already a famous pop star with Girls Aloud and a successful solo career. She had also been through 2 divorces, first with footballer Ashley Cole and then with French restaurateur Jean-Bernard Fernandez Versini. Their relationship made headlines partly because of their 10-year age gap. Despite the media attention, they seemed happy together. In March 2017, they had a son, Bear Gray Payne, which Liam called one of his best moments in life. Liam's career kept growing. After One Direction took a break in 2016, he launched a solo career, working with artists like Rita Ora and Quavo. Cheryl also stayed in the spotlight, continuing her solo music career and appearing as a judge on The X Factor. Interestingly, Liam had admired Cheryl long before they dated. He once called her his dream girl, a feeling he carried from his teens. Their relationship was filled with love and public support, but in mid-2018, they broke up. They said they had differences, but were focused on co-parenting Bear. Liam has since praised Cheryl as an amazing mother, and they remain close friends. Benji Madden and Cameron Diaz. Benji Madden and Cameron Diaz met through Madden's twin brother, Joel, and his wife, Nicole Richie, who are close friends of Diaz. Though they had been in the same social circles for years, Diaz truly noticed Benji at a barbecue at her house in May 2014. She later said she wondered why she hadn't seen him before, describing their connection as instant. Their relationship moved quickly, and after just 7 months of dating, Madden proposed in December 2014 with her family's blessing. A few weeks later, they married in an intimate ceremony at Diaz's Beverly Hills home. Cameron Diaz is one of Hollywood's most famous actresses, known for movies like The Mask, Charlie's Angels, and The Holiday. She was praised for her ability to switch between comedy and drama. In 2014, she stepped away from acting to focus on her personal life and later co-founded Avaline, a clean wine brand. Benji Madden is a musician best known for Good Charlotte, a pop-punk band that became famous in the early 2000s with hits like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. He later expanded into music production and artwork. Their marriage is built on love, family, and privacy. They welcomed their daughter Radix via surrogacy in December 2019. In March 2024, they announced the birth of their son, Cardinal. Diaz has called motherhood the best part of her life and praised Madden as a wonderful father. Despite their different careers, Diaz in acting and Madden in music, their relationship is strong because of shared values. Madden often posts loving messages about Diaz, and she has credited him with teaching her to value herself more and prioritize their marriage. Johnny Cash and June Carter. Johnny Cash and June Carter met in 1956 backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. Both were married at the time, Cash to Vivian Liberto and Carter to Carl Smith, later Edwin Rip Nix. June was 8 years older than Johnny, but they shared a strong bond through their love of music. June was already famous as part of the Carter family, a well-known country music group led by her mother, Maybelle Carter. She was a talented singer, songwriter, and actress. Cash admired her deeply and often called her his inspiration. In the early 1960s, June joined Cash on tour as a backup singer and duet partner. Their chemistry was undeniable, leading to hit songs like Jackson and If I Were a Carpenter. June also co-wrote Ring of Fire, inspired by her struggle with falling in love with Cash despite their complicated situation. The song became one of his biggest hits in 1963. At the time, Cash was struggling with substance addiction, which strained his marriage. His wife, Vivian, later said that infidelity and addiction led to their divorce in 1966. Through it all, June stood by Cash and helped him recover. Cash proposed to June several times before she finally accepted during a concert in London, Ontario in 1968. They married on March 1, 1968, blending their families from previous marriages and later welcoming their only child together, John Carter Cash. Together, they won Grammy Awards and achieved great success, but their marriage had challenges, including money troubles and lingering addiction struggles. They remained devoted to each other. June passed away on May 15, 2003, after heart surgery. Heartbroken, Johnny died just 4 months later. Their love story lives on through their music and the movie Walk the Line, Vanilla Ice and Madonna. Vanilla Ice, whose real name is Rob Van Winkle, was in his early 20s when he dated Madonna, who was in her early 30s. One of the most surprising parts of their relationship was that Madonna reportedly proposed to him. Vanilla Ice later said he was shocked by the proposal because he felt things were moving too fast and he was too young for marriage. This showed how quickly their romance developed, which is common in celebrity relationships. Madonna, known for being bold and unconventional, didn't follow traditional rules even in her love life. At the time, Madonna was already a superstar with hit albums like a Virgin and True Blue. She was famous for her provocative performances and had a huge influence on pop culture. Vanilla Ice, on the other hand, was at the peak of his career with his hit song, Ice Ice Baby, the first rap single to top the Billboard charts. However, he later struggled to keep up his music career. Their relationship ended in 1992 after Madonna released a controversial coffee table book. Vanilla Ice claimed he was included without his permission, which caused a rift. Despite their breakup, he has spoken highly of her, calling her a legend, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes met in 2011 while filming The Place Beyond the Pines, where they played a couple with a newborn. Their on-screen chemistry quickly turned into a real relationship. Since then, they have built a family and focused on raising their daughters together. Mendes, who is 7 years older than Gosling, has said their relationship changed her view on family and career. Gosling has also credited her for inspiring him to start a family. Before meeting Gosling, Mendes was a well-known actress who had roles in Hitch, 2005, and The Other Guys, 2010. However, she stepped away from acting after becoming a mother, saying it was an easy choice to focus on her children. Meanwhile, Gosling, known mainly for acting, also has a music career. He first showed his musical talent as a child on the Mickey Mouse Club, performing with stars like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. In 2007, Gosling formed the indie band Dead Man's Bones with Zach Shields. Their debut album in 2009 featured eerie, atmospheric songs and was praised for its creativity. The band toured with children's choirs, but they haven't released new music since. Gosling's musical skills later shown in La La Land, 2016, where he sang and played piano, earning an Oscar nomination. More recently, his song I'm Just Ken from Barbie, 2023, became a viral hit and was nominated for Best Original Song. Despite their fame, Mendes and Gosling keep their lives private. They rarely appear together publicly and moved away from Los Angeles to give their daughters a normal upbringing. They confirmed their marriage in 2022, marking one of the few times Mendes spoke about their relationship. Michael Bublé and Emily Blunt. Michael Bublé met Emily Blunt at the Logie Awards in Australia in 2005, and they quickly hit it off. At the time, Bublé was becoming a big name in music, especially after his album It's Time, 2005, gained international success. One of his hit songs, Home, was inspired by his experiences and emotions during their relationship. Blunt even sang background vocals on some of his songs, like Me and Mrs. Jones. Bublé later admitted that he wrote everything for Blunt, showing how much she influenced his music. Blunt was also on the rise in Hollywood. Her breakthrough came with The Devil Wears Prada, 2006, and she soon became one of the most in-demand actresses. During her time with Bublé, her career took off, landing her major roles like The Young Victoria, 2009. Despite their busy lives, they often spoke highly of each other. Bublé called Blunt a wonderful person who brought positivity into his life. However, fame and long distance made things tough. By 2008, they decided to go their separate ways. Bublé later said the breakup was painful and inspired his song Lost. Even though their romance ended, both went on to have hugely successful careers. Blunt married actor John Krasinski in 2010 and became a top Hollywood star with films like Edge of Tomorrow and A Quiet Place. Bublé continued his rise in music, releasing hit albums like Crazy Love, 2009, and Christmas, 2011, making him one of the biggest jazz pop artists of his time. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde met in September 2020 when he joined her film, Don't Worry Darling. Wilde, who directed and acted in the movie, was excited to cast him, praising his confidence and modern take on masculinity. As they worked together, they became close, and their relationship grew during filming. Styles' music career has been nothing short of incredible. After rising to fame with One Direction, he went solo and quickly proved his talent. His first album, Harry Styles, 2017, featured the hit Sign of the Times. His second, Fine Line, 2019, was even bigger, with Watermelon Sugar winning a Grammy. In 2022, Harry's House broke records, and as it was, became the longest-running #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 by a UK artist. Wilde also built a strong career. Known for Tron, Legacy, she earned respect as a filmmaker with Booksmart. But her relationship with Stiles brought intense media attention, especially rumors about her split from ex-fiancé Jason Sudeikis. She denied leaving him for Stiles, saying they had already broken up. In 2021, Wilde and Stiles grew closer, but media pressure took a toll. They split in late 2022, but remained on good terms. Stiles continues to thrive in music and fashion, while Wilde focuses on filmmaking and family. Heidi Klum and Tom Collitz. Heidi Klum and Tom Collitz have a love story that stands out, especially with their 16-year age gap. They first met at a friend's party in February 2018. Klum was immediately interested in Collitz, but felt too shy to make eye contact. They soon started dating and appeared together in public for the first time at the Cannes Amphar Gala in May 2018. Their relationship moved fast, with Collitz proposing in December 2018 in a surprise moment involving Klum's children. They secretly married in February 2019, then had a big wedding on a yacht in Capri that summer. Klum is a famous supermodel and TV personality. She was a Victoria's Secret angel and appeared on many magazine covers. She also became a successful host and producer on Project Runway and America's Got Talent, staying in the spotlight for years. Collitz is the guitarist for the German rock band Tokyo Hotel, which he co-founded with his twin brother Bill. The band gained worldwide fame with songs like Monsoon and Automatic. Even with their busy careers, they make family a priority. Klum has 4 children from her previous marriage to Seal, and Collitz has become a loving stepfather. Her children even helped plan his proposal, showing their strong bond. Klum says Collitz helps her enjoy life more now that her kids are older. John Lennon and Yoko Ono. John Lennon and Yoko Ono had one of the most famous relationships in pop culture. They met in 1966 at Ono's art exhibit in London. Lennon was still married to Cynthia Powell, but he was drawn to Ono's unique style. She was already a respected artist known for experimental and conceptual work focused on human connection and social change. They started as creative partners, but their relationship soon turned romantic. In 1968, Lennon divorced Powell. Ono influenced Lennon's music, pushing him toward more personal projects. In 1968, they released Unfinished Music No. 1, Two Virgins, an experimental album with a nude cover that shocked many. They married on March 20th, 1969, in Gibraltar, and turned their honeymoon into a protest against the Vietnam War with their Bed-ins for Peace in Amsterdam and Montreal. Lennon later sang about their love and activism in The Ballad of John and Yoko. After the Beatles broke up in 1970, Ono's influence on Lennon grew. She co-wrote several songs, and her ideas helped shape Imagine. He called her his biggest artistic inspiration. Meanwhile, Ono continued her work as an artist and activist. Their relationship had struggles. In 1973, they separated briefly when Lennon had an affair, but they reunited in 1975 and had a son, Sean. Their time together ended tragically when Lennon was shot on December 8, 1980. Since then, Ono has continued her art and honored his legacy. Johnny McDade and Courtney Cox. Johnny McDade and Courtney Cox started dating in late 2013 after being introduced by their mutual friend, Ed Sheeran. Despite Cox being 12 years older, they have built a strong and lasting relationship. McDade has had a successful music career. As a member of Snow Patrol, he helped create hits like Chasing Cars, a song loved worldwide. He also co-wrote Ed Sheeran's Photograph and Shape of You, one of the most streamed songs ever. His talent goes beyond songwriting, as he has worked with artists like Taylor Swift and Robbie Williams and produced albums for Birdie and Foy Vance. His ability to adapt across genres while staying true to his style has kept him at the top of the industry. Cox's career has also been impressive. She became a household name playing Monica Geller on Friends, a role that made her one of TV's most beloved actresses. After Friends, she moved into directing and producing, showing her versatility in entertainment. She produced and starred in Cougar Town, proving her skills beyond acting. Their careers often connect. McDade's songwriting is inspired by personal experience, which may include his life with Cox. She has also spoken highly of his musical talent, showing how their creative worlds blend beautifully. Paul McCartney and Dorothy. Paul McCartney had a notable relationship with Dorothy Rohn, who was older than him. They met in 1959 at the Casbah Coffee Club in Liverpool when McCartney was 17. They dated for 3 years, during which McCartney influenced Rohn's style, encouraging her to look like Brigitte Bardot, whom he admired. This relationship showed his youthful ideas about romance and his preference for elegance. At that time, McCartney was still building his music career. The Beatles were performing in small clubs in Liverpool and Hamburg, working hard before becoming famous. Even while touring, McCartney stayed in touch with Rohn through letters and gifts like a gold ring and a leather skirt. Some of his early songs, like Love of the Loved and P.S. I Love You, were likely inspired by her. Rohn supported McCartney during the Beatles' early struggles. Their relationship ended in 1962 after she had a miscarriage. McCartney, focused on his growing career, was not ready to settle down. As the Beatles rose to fame, McCartney became one of history's greatest musicians. Rohn later moved to Canada and lived a private life, but she remained an important part of his early years. Which of these stars' relationships with older women do you find most interesting? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.